Microsoft Teams is everywhere. Most businesses use it for video meetings and for chat, but if you are trying to handle real customer communication through it, voice calls, texts, and call queues, you've probably realized Teams alone was not built for that, and you're probably hitting a ceiling. So I want to show you exactly what fills that gap. I'm Pallen, a brand strategist. Welcome to my channel, where I share practical tools to help you build and grow your brand. RingCentral is my content partner for a series of videos this year. Today, I want to go into detail on something specific, their Microsoft Teams integration and how the customer engagement bundle fits into it. Now, if you've watched my last video on customer engagement bundle, which you should, you've already probably seen the call queues, shared SMS inbox, and live reports. This video is going to be about what changes when all of that lives inside Teams. If your company already works in Teams, but customer calls, texts, and queue management often happen somewhere else, adding a separate tool creates friction. RingCentral for Microsoft Teams removes it. Now, here's a situation a lot of businesses are in. They've built their internal communication around Microsoft Teams. It's where meetings happen, where the team chats, where work gets done. But when a customer calls in, they go somewhere else. When a customer texts the business number, also somewhere else. It's a split experience, and every time someone has to switch tools, that costs time and context. Microsoft does have its own voice product, but the reliability gap is real. So if your business runs on Teams, you've probably experienced at least one major outage. But RingCentral runs at 99.999% reliability, which means less than 5.5 minutes of downtime a year. That's nothing. For voice calls specifically, that gap makes a big difference. If Teams does go down, you have a built-in backup path with RingCentral. Just log in through your browser and keep calling, messaging, and meeting without missing a beat. So what RingCentral built is a way to bring their phone system, SMS capabilities, and the customer engagement bundle directly into Teams. You don't have to leave Teams. You can get more done from inside of it. Now, let me start with the integration itself. The setup is simpler than you might expect, and there's one feature in here that I absolutely love. Okay, this is where you go to add RingCentral to Microsoft Teams. It lives right inside the Microsoft App Source Marketplace, which is where Teams apps comes from. You can see the full feature list here: calling, SMS, fax, voicemail, presence, sync, a heads-up display for managing multiple calls, and analytics. All of it runs inside Teams once the app is installed. Admins, by the way, can push this to the entire organization in 3 steps, so you're not setting it up one person at a time. From here, you would click Get It Now, and the process will begin. Now, this is the one feature that I mentioned that I'm super impressed by. If your team uses physical desk phones, you don't have to replace them. Teams becomes a remote control. The audio still runs through the desk phone itself. You can see the range here of compatible hardware: Poly, Yealink, Cisco, Jabra, Mitel, Snome. RingCentral supports over 270 phone models, so chances are yours is already covered. And for teams already on RingCentral, this can eliminate the need for a separate Teams phone license. That license runs an additional $10 per user per month. For a team of 20, that's $200 a month that you're no longer paying. Pretty awesome. Once you're set up, this is what you're working with. Inside Teams, everything lives in tabs across the top. Phone gives you a full dialer with your caller ID right there. Calls shows your complete history: inbound, outbound, missed. Voicemail transcribes messages automatically so you can read them without listening. Text is your SMS inbox. Fax is handled here too, no need for a separate tool. And then contacts pulls from both your Microsoft and RingCentral directories in one place. And HUD shows your whole team's availability at a glance, so you know who's free before you try to reach them. All of it, one app inside Teams. This next feature that I want to show you is called Bi-directional Presence Sync. It sounds technical, I know, but the problem that it solves is one you've probably run into. Yes, one of the features I want to make sure you know about is Bi-directional Presence Sync, so it keeps your team's status and your RingCentral status aligned automatically. For example, if you're on a RingCentral call, your team's status updates to show you're busy, then nobody messages you thinking you're free. And it works the other way too. If you're on a Teams meeting, RingCentral knows not to ring you. From an IT perspective, this is what's called frictionless adoption. People don't have to think about it or manage it manually. The two systems just stay in sync. The next part is where AI earns its place. RingCentral built call notes and summaries directly into the Teams experience. Let me show it to you. After a RingCentral call ends, the AI assistant generates a recap that shows up directly inside Teams. You can see it here in the Notes tab. Every call already summarized. And then every call and voicemail gets transcribed and summarized automatically. It's like having an executive assistant on call every day. Back here in the summary, you can see how it breaks down a recap of the conversation, then a separate tasks section for anything that needs following up. Let's say you agreed to send a proposal, that would show up here. And because everything logs inside Teams, you end up with a running history of every customer conversation. For smaller teams that aren't running a full CRM, that fills the gap. Now let's talk about RingCentral's customer engagement bundle inside Teams. If you've watched my last video, and you should, I'll link to it, you know that the CEB fills the space between a basic phone plan and a full customer contact center. Here's what that looks like when it lives in Teams. This is the RingCentral admin portal, so it's where you set up and manage everything, including call queues. To create a new queue, you would go to Phone System, then Call Queues, then hit New Call Queue. You give it a name, assign it to a site, and then pick an extension number, and choose whether calls get recorded automatically. 3 steps, and you're through to the next screen. From there, you set a voicemail pin for the call, for the queue, and assign a manager, then add team members who will be taking calls in that queue, and then you're done. Now this is where it gets really useful. Once the queue is set up, you can configure exactly what callers hear when they wait. You can enable a welcome greeting, a position in queue announcement so callers know where they stand, and an estimated wait time. All of it toggled on from this one screen, so you've got options. There's also a callback request option. If a caller doesn't want to wait, they can press 1 and RingCentral calls them back when it's their turn. They keep their place in line, obviously, without having to stay on hold. You can also control how often the wait messages repeat and choose the tone that fits your business. When you're done, hit save. That's your call queue, live and running. The shared SMS inbox is part of CEB2. You can see it right here in the text tab inside Teams. Messages land in a shared view your whole team can see, so nothing gets missed in someone's personal inbox. A reminder just went out to a customer about an upcoming appointment. They reply, asking to reschedule. An agent picks up, responds, and the customer confirms. The whole exchange takes 2 minutes. When it's done, you click resolve, it drops off the active queue, and the next conversation moves up. Anyone on the team can pick up where someone else left off, and there's a full record of every exchange right there in Teams. This now is the live reports inside RingCentral Analytics. It's a real-time dashboard that shows you exactly what's happening across your call queues as it happens. You build it yourself using widgets. So you hit Add Widget, and then you can see everything available: service level, call volume, queue monitor, agents count, agent details, call queues, and more. You pick what matters to your team and build the view around that. Let's start with a service level widget. You name it, pick the queue you want to monitor, set a time period, and define your target. In this case, the goal is 65% of calls answered within 35 seconds. Save it, and it's live on your dashboard instantly. Then add a call volume widget. Same process, name it, choose the metrics you want to see: total inbound calls, answered calls, forwarded calls, callback requests. Select the queues, set the time window, and hit save. What you end up with is a dashboard that shows you wait times, agent availability, how many calls are in the queue, and whether you're hitting your service targets, all updating in real time. And the version that you can see here with the live data: 14 calls waiting, 35 total inbound, 3 agents available. That's what it looks like when it's actually running. You're not looking at yesterday's numbers, you're looking at right now. And here's another piece worth knowing about AIR, or RingCentral's AI Receptionist. Through the Teams integration, AIR helps you make sure you never miss an opportunity, even when you're busy, after hours, or away from your desk. It can answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, capture leads, and route more complex inquiries to the right person with all the context included. Customers get a seamless experience, and your team spends less time chasing routine tasks, all directly through the RingCentral and Teams integration. Now, one final feature worth showing: CEB also includes RingCentral's AI Conversation Expert, or ACE. It's the place that helps you understand not just what's happening in customer communication, but why it's happening. Yep, RingCentral's AI Conversation Expert tracks what's actually driving your customers to call, broken down by topic, volume, and trend over time. See reoccurring issues, retention risks, even which competitors are coming up in conversations. For managers, that means better coaching. For leaders, it means clearer visibility into where to improve. Paired with live reports, you get 2 views, what's happening right now, what the patterns look like over time. Listen, I have a whole video dedicated to ACE, short for RingCentral's AI Conversation Expert. That is coming out soon. Once it's live, I'll be sure to link to it right here on screen and in the description below. Now, I've been using RingCentral across my business this year, and the more I get into it, the more I find myself also recommending this to clients. I've told many about it, specifically the ones who've been patching together a phone system, a texting app, and a spreadsheet to track who replied to what. There is a much cleaner way to do all of this. The link is in the description. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. I read each and every one of those and will reply. If this video is useful, hit like. It helps other people discover these videos, which we work hard to create for you. Subscribe if you have not already. I'm Pallen. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.